What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and of course, I'm from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed above, directly at WiseTake.com. If you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level, we are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out. Day Pass is available if you want to try us out. That being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome. You've come to the right place with some free fire DFS content. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Currently covering slates Monday through Friday, meaning we stream live Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look. All right. Chat rank, what's going on? Chat says he was all in on Burns, but weather scared him off. Yeah, man. The weather forecast, aside from the winds blowing out, was, which I don't think that was it, right? Like I don't think too many people cared about that. I think it was more the possibility of the game ending early, or a delay. Looks like the game's gonna hold out. And wow, what a performance by Corbin Burns! I didn't get enough of him either. I played some, but I didn't play. I have a Red Sox stack, but I didn't play it with Burns. Oh, here goes that. Pat Bush, what's going on, bro? Worked in the Wainwright, he was dominant. Yeah, man, it's just one of them things, man. Wainwright and Stroman and those guys, they don't typically strike people out, but they can. And sometimes those like teams that make contact but are just bad, it keeps their pitch count low, which keeps them around longer. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a wild slate. Pat says he had the pitching in the Red Sox, but the wrong contest. Damn. Chad says my Cubs are trash now. They're the new Rangers. Doran, what's going on, bro? Good to see you, man. Jonathan Adams, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. So we've got all day baseball on Thursday, and it looks like FanDuel's main slate is the night slate. DraftKings main slate is the early slate. We're gonna cover the early slate. And on FanDuel, I think there's only 2 games. They have a 12 o'clock slate. Well, I think it's 12:30 for them. They're not going to have the doubleheader with the Mets, which, did DraftKings get rid of that one? No. I don't see it. Okay, here it is, 2:30. Okay, yeah. So we won't have that on FanDuel, I'm assuming. And then the 2 late games at 4 o'clock. So for FanDuel, it's going to be 12:35 through 2:20, 4-game slate. We're going to cover that on the slide as well. For FanDuel, I will have all-day projections up for those of you who do play FanDuel and are subscribed to WiseTake.com. But as far as the articles and cheat sheets, and articles and dirt sheet that Paulie does, the article I do, dirt sheet Paulie does, that'll be covering the early slate for both FanDuel, DraftKings. That being said, we'll go ahead and get into it with our top pitchers, as we always do. Start it off. So I would imagine Brandon Woodruff is going to be the most popular pitcher on the slate, regardless of the site, right? After what everybody just saw Corbin Burns do. Oh yeah. So yeah, let me just make sure this game. Yeah, 220. So yeah, it's gonna be on both slates. So Woodruff will be the most popular. Hard to argue against that. I think we have wins blowing out again. If you're going to fade that, it's just a game theory thing, right? Because there's gonna be nothing in the numbers that's gonna tell you to do that. It's just a game theory thing. Chris Bassett, I think, is a decent option. Montas did okay. Bassett's numbers are looking a little bit better. Cleveland, they've been a little pesky, but not a good offense. And if you look at their lineup individually, there's a lot of strikeouts in that lineup. Then I go to John Means, and I don't go to John Means because of John Means, right? xFIP and Sierra almost double his ERA, only a 22.9% K rate. BABIP is very low. The only reason we're here is because it's the Tigers. Now, the Tigers can be decent against lefties, but on the season so far, they have a 26.3% K rate. I will note, though, they've risen in WRC+. Plus. At one time, Detroit was dead last. They're up to 100, which is like right in the middle of the pack. So that's worth noting. It could be trending towards the Tigers continuing to improve that. Which last year the Tigers were actually good against lefties. Tanner Houck, he's got nasty stuff, man. He's got nasty stuff. The problem is that they don't really seem to want him to go more than 75 pitches or so. Against Toronto, they were in the game. He was pitching well, though his pitch count was a little high, 75 pitches through like 3 2/3, and they pulled him. So that's a little worrisome, but he is playing Tampa. I think he'll get some love, at least on FanDuel. On DraftKings, on FanDuel is where it's really risky to play him because of the bullshit, because of the quality start thing, right? Is this game even on the FanDuel slate? I know there's a price, but that's because they have the all day. No, it's not. Okay, so on FanDuel you have to worry about it for this slate specifically. But on DraftKings, 8-7's an issue. We just saw Eovaldi destroy Tampa. And Tanner Houck's numbers are even stronger than that of Eovaldi, albeit on a smaller sample. Last but not least is DraftKings only, but I think Trevor Williams is in the conversation. He was in AAA. He came over in a trade with Baez. He was in AAA. And so he's still stretched out. Should be good to go, I would think. 6-4 in a 7-inning game. Yes, this is a shortened game for you DraftKings players out there. So I think he's in a conversation. Not a ton. Realistically, it's like Woodruff, Bassett, Houck, and Williams. That means I don't even know if I feel comfortable with that, to be honest. in Baltimore, for a guy with a 50% fly ball rate. Top offense is the O's as of right now. Now, we don't have a total yet for the Milwaukee game. I think that maybe one of those, I'm thinking Milwaukee's total ends up high. But as of right now, it is the night before, it's 10:51 p.m. Eastern to be exact. As of right now, Baltimore has the highest total on the slate with like a 5.9. I expect that to go down, right, after some adjustments are made. But as of right now, that is what it is. And it's because they are facing Matt Manning, who's making the case to be one of the worst pitchers in the game. Right, in Baltimore, one of the best hitting parks out there. If they become chalky, it's super scary to take a team like Baltimore's chalk. Baltimore has been decent against lefties. They have not been good against righties this season. The Red Sox, Drew Rasmussen, his numbers are strong, but he's not going to be in the game that long. This is a bullpen game for Tampa Bay, assuming this is going to stay. Rasmussen threw 53 pitches against Baltimore. So there's always that. I don't know. 53 pitches, say they give him what, like 65, something like that now? You still don't expect to see him in the game that long, right? So Boston, with one of the higher run totals on the slate. Tampa on the other side against Tanner Houck. I know we just talked about Houck, but we talked about a potential low pitch count in Tampa. Again, this game has like a 10-run total right now. You know what I mean? Sean V says not touching the team after scoring 20 runs. Yeah. Either they're red hot and they're going to continue, or they just scored enough runs for the next 3 games, right? Pat Bush, Baltimore is bad today. I had this stack. I did too. They let me down. Trying to feel like the ownership's going to be the thing. The Mariners against Folty. The Mariners seem like they've cooled off a little bit offensively. They're back home in a pitching park, but Folty is still terrible, right? I could see him. I can see them not being played a ton. If the prices are right, I haven't really checked. If the prices are low enough, it could make it easier to afford some of the more expensive pitchers out there. But I think that if you think about it, on DraftKings, Woodruff, Bassett, let's say, as a combo, Baltimore is the stack that'll probably be the easiest for you to fit that in without sacrificing like the total of a team. So I think Baltimore could end up being pretty popular, or Detroit for that matter. Maybe Seattle is a potential pivot. And then the A's. A's finally woke up late. Too little, too late. They'll play Eli Morgan, who's got a 54% flat ball rate and a 39% hard contact rate. We know Oakland is a team that likes to hit the ball in the air, and they like to swing hard. So I think Oakland can definitely get lost in the shuffle. But fitting all this shit around with the pitching, that's going to be the thing. And if you're spending it for bats, you're gonna need a Trevor Williams or someone, Marco Gonzalez, somebody, right? Things to watch: wind's blowing out in Wrigley. Keep an eye on that. I think the Brewers. I didn't list the Brewers just yet because it is Kyle Hendricks, who is not great, but he's done a pretty good job over his career of not getting smashed. But the Brewers definitely in play with wind blowing out. We'll just want to see, make sure if the wind's not blowing out, I'm not that interested. If the wind is blowing out, then yeah, I'm definitely interested in Milwaukee for sure. And then JT Brubaker against Wade LeBlanc. Brubaker has been giving up a ton of home runs, but his numbers tell us that maybe he's not as bad as he's looked. St. Louis is not the team that's going to hit a whole ton of home runs. This game is in Pittsburgh. What else? And then you got LeBlanc against the Pirates. Pirates not a good offense. Pirates, matter of fact, dead last with the Rangers in WRC plus against lefties at 79. But I mean, Wade LeBlanc is terrible. Just another thing of like, what are we doing? What are we doing, right? Anyway, guys, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Dong March and we're out of here. Cedric Mullins, number one. That he is legit good. I think anyway. Cedric Mullins, number one. Rafael Devers from Boston. He's the only guy. He did it at RBI double, but he was hitting the ball well. Didn't really join in too much. He got pinch hit for. Gets a righty. Let's go. Mitch Haniger, number three. That's right. Mitch Haniger against Mike Folty. That's what I'm talking about. And that is going to, it's going to do it. You're right, Pat. It's a weird-ass slate tomorrow. It's definitely a weird-ass slate. They have night slates available, so take a look at all the slates and decide, pick which one you like. They're going to have an afternoon slate. They have a night slate. Like I said, FanDuel has a 7:38 through with the 9 o'clock games. DraftKings has one for just the 9 o'clock games. So there's a few different slates. So find the one that fits you best, fits your skill set best, right? Anyway, Nation, that's going to do it. Please hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. I appreciate all of you making the time to come out, hang out with me live. Those of you that watch and listen after the fact, still appreciate y'all as well. Continue to leave your comments. I love hearing back from you guys, whether it's about the slate, whether it's about the show, anything. We love hearing the feedback. Love hearing from the nation. We are men of the nation. We are a nation of the people. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.
Yes.